Mr. Coach, I think this is it. This is the big one. Orlando Pirates, that's right, Buccaneers are heading into the Nedbank Cup final for the third time in a row. One more battle, one last push, and a chance to lift silverware and see some Buccaneers armpits on the field one more time in this preview on the Happy People TV Orlando Pirates fan channel. Let us dive into all the key talking points, team news from a Pirates perspective, opposition analysis, see what Chiefs might try this time in order to get past us, not going to get past us, and also let's go into predicted lineups, then the all-important score prediction where you put your money where your mouth is. So before we kick off this match preview, let us please hit the like, hit the subscribe to be notified, and share Buccaneers so we can grow the community. Are shopping Chiefs? Danko. Hey, Tawala Mafetu, how is everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Happy People TV Orlando Pirates fan channel. Mr. Coach, how are you feeling? How are the nerves going into this final, Jose's last dance?
Nagi mnate Praga. I hope you are as well. Hey, football is a crazy sport, bro. Crazy endeavor to be involved in, to be honest. 7 days ago, we just part out of the CAF Champions League. Heads were down across the board. And we were a couple of hours at time of recording, a couple of hours away from losing to Skukune. Everything was dark and gloomy. Nothing looked good. Fast forward 7 days later, Vandaag, we have just beaten Golden Arrows and Kaizer Chiefs. So I'm a lot more optimistic. I'm looking forward to the final. Yes, we can cry about how the season is going to end up being underwhelming, obviously, because it wasn't our plan just to win MTN8 and Nedbank Cup. We had huge plans for the season, and here we are again. But, again, 7 days later, it's changed so much. Our spirits are lifted. I'm just looking forward to the final. I honestly am. The league is fedile mfethu, so kishebile. Go Hlaba Chiefs. You win Nedbank Cup. That's why go Hlaba. Here, 90 minutes, boys against men. Walk away, give Michael Comelon the flowers he deserves, both of them for the season, and then start thinking about preseason. That's honestly what I'm thinking about.
Very interesting, Mr. Coach, especially, well, you know what? Not even very interesting. I feel like you have given me the perfect answer that I would basically would like to have. Basically, I didn't have the perfect answer of how am I actually going into this game.
Yeah.
There's nothing to lose. There's nothing to consolidate. There's nothing to...
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. There is a lot to lose, bro.
Yeah?
We can't not win this game.
Yeah.
Our pride and dignity as a country. Imagine the nation if Chiefs, God forbid, touch wood, Chiefs were to win the Nedbank Cup.
Yeah.
I know they call themselves a but there's no Tulang that happens in Naturena. So,
or that will happen
ever in the country.
Yeah.
So I just thought, sorry, I was cutting you off, but all I want to say is that we do have a lot to lose, and that is peace of mind.
No, true. With that statement, nothing to lose, ne? I think more of it is also looking at Tabayahore. Not like we are like Sundowns, or
opportunity cost type of thing could be costing you the other one.
Yeah, like there's no players to rest, there's no players to protect. It's not gonna be the last game of the season, and we would like to obviously push Sundowns till the very end. But I think your sentiments are perfect. Men against boys, make them fire that coach, come back again with somebody better next time.
Force them. Jose Mfethu, if there's one thing he's been doing since coach Orlando Pirates is shuffling the technical team, especially Go Pitori. Would be nice on his way out to shuffle
another one, especially the next door.
The people's jobs with families and things. I don't mean like that, but
they'll get another
in the spirit
job.
Of football.
Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates is up in fleet. Not for anybody's away. Mr. Coach, let us get into Moma team news, opposition analysis. Chiefs, and how are we looking? Because I remember we had an issue-less BC from the league game, and also Mbata.
Yeah, you covered my team news in that statement. Upodlela will be back, as far as I understand. He's served his 2 game suspension, as well as Nombat. I think he had nearly 3 yellow cards. I actually wasn't aware of it until after the game. Mara Ngare, it was 3 yellow cards, and he has served the suspension, so he should also be available for the fixture. Everybody else, Tito didn't pick up a yellow card, so he's eligible. He would only be risking a yellow card in the following game. I don't even know who we're playing after Chiefs, which proves worry.
This game is an end all be all of sorts.
It's even for our season. Yeah, I think any other yellow cards. Koki didn't pick up a yellow card in the previous game. He was also at risk, so he still carries 3 yellows. Won't affect this game. So yeah, when you're thinking about affecting this game particularly, I think we have the full complement of our squad. And then moving on to your other question,
opposition analysis. Mang, who could cause us issues? We didn't think that we would concede at all against Chiefs, and we didn't even think that they would have a half that they can call theirs.
To answer your initial question, and the answer is nobody. I think that whole Chiefs team is not good enough in Fetu, and that for me puts pressure on our club. Dog. We absolutely, if you can't beat this Chiefs team, I'm just saying, if you win so. But they do have a couple of players who can cause an upset, or at least not so much upset, but give us a reason to question ourselves. I'm looking at, again, Lilepo. I think he doesn't get enough credit, especially amongst my YouTube analyst. He gets quite a lot of slack.
I think he played decent. Credit to him. I don't
not
think he's
so
that bad.
Well,
I think
actually,
it's another. I mean, in the big three, Khozo was pointing out the fact that after the goal out of the game and kind of granted of it, I wonder if that's a mental thing where he's actually got the skills, mental or wrong.
There was a portion of the game where most of the game, honestly, Utomile is a number 9 and that's out of position. Lele Pomfetu is a wide forward. He does really well cutting in from the left-hand side. So I felt like he had a lot of rest decisions in Fetu. He did kind of lose his touch as the game went on. He started to get even close to what you would call poor, but I wouldn't go that far. So I think his biggest issue was being played out of position. I think on the left hand side, it wasn't very effective. But when you think about how we set up our club and you think about the fact that our biggest weakness is in that channel, I think the Lepo can honestly cause something. Again, played in position, in the right position, and in terms of the combination being able to do that, he can take on a few players, but any one player can't do anything spectacular. He needs his support from his teammates. So I still think he's a player to keep an eye on. I think he's probably Chiefs, if not he's the best player, definitely top 3, their biggest threat. So Van Rooyen, I saw him in the previous game against Golden Arrows. He did quite well in terms of sticking in that position and being a little bit more disciplined. If
that channel, if like good as Lilepo, Sheba, Van Rooyen is basically covering. Whatever or could be.
So if we can have Van Rooyen deal with that position in Grand, I think we won't have an issue in terms of threat from Yena.
Dudu Shabalala?
I was actually about to get into him. I think he has points to prove, especially in this coming game. He didn't have the best of performances. He didn't struggle, but he was kind of...
Balls, 1 assist when he starts.
He hasn't lived up to his potential as a rising young star, especially coming from the development setup. The talent is there, the ability is there. I think he struggled a little bit in the derby. Honestly, that goal, Yamahopa, if you rewind a couple of moments before, Kabadala was in a position to make a defense splitting pass. Not so much defense split, game changing pass. If Kabadala makes the right pass there and Chiefs end up scoring, different ball games. 2-0 now, and we're struggling. So I think if he can sort things like that out and he gets that right, he's taking again a creative midfielder.
So is he best? Are you saying rank them by not making pass?
I'm looking at it taking, bro.
Can keep the ball better.
If he makes the right decision there, and he had a couple of those instances in the previous leg, in the league game. If he makes the right decision, he makes the right pass, they're kind of in on goal. Their midfield is capable of dominating the physical battle. I was disappointed with our midfield. display in that game, especially in the first half. But I must also give credit to Chiefs' midfield. I think they could have gotten something, especially maybe if someone like Ele started the game. So if they have that base at the midfield doing well, and Shabalala, if he just gets that, if he's taking on that date, like Ebejon, if he's taking and he finds the right form, because it's only 90 minutes that he has to play at his best.
Yeah.
If he can find that kind of form, he can honestly cause something.
Yeah, hasn't done much in goals and assists lately, but you know what? I think I remember him causing a little bit of issue.
The thing is, dog,
At the beginning, fella.
The reason why I think he's worth a mention is that he was in the right positions. And tactically, it was working out for him. He just wasn't getting that final ball. But that could be a conversation away. It could be a mental state of mind type of but it could be a change in mentality kind of thing. It could be a shift, a small shift in his confidence, and everything clicks. One moment, one good pass leads to a goal, suddenly he's in the game. So he's somebody to look at for sure.
Okay. Right then. That gives us a nice come off order to look at the predicted 11s. I'll start with yours, Mr. Coach. One I'm fit. It's a deal squad saham. Here to explain.
Right and true. I'm going for a Nedbank Cup final in Soweto. I want to be sure. And obviously, I'm going to start with my most trusted back five as far as I can. Chain, Hoto back into the club. I toyed with that decision for a while because I do question him going forward. I think he's capable of Rushotisa.
Even at left back, Mr.
Yes.
He's capable of Rushotisa going forward, but
on the overlap,
has he ever shot Shotisa at us? Like, have you ever felt like left back vandaag?
And that is why he starts. All of my total question marks are on the ball. He leaves no question marks off the ball. Such that you don't even see him marking is how well it does his job. If you ask me, you don't see the gap. He covers the ground enough. So yeah, I think Hoto in this case would be the better option. Marco's had some questionable performances.
Yeah, so it's just not enough of a showcase with Marco.
Not enough of a showcase, yeah. So I think Hoto makes the thingy. Upodlela walks right back into the squad. Thought he had a good game, but if I have to put any faith in a Nedbank Cup final, I'm putting it on SBC. Unless we got surprise about him now.
Plus he's had a good rest, SBC. Let him put on the flipping armband, please.
Yeah. And lead the boys. I didn't go with double pivot in Soweto. The one thing I saw in the Chiefs game was that the midfield was there to be taken. The Chiefs players were crowding it, but they weren't owning it in terms of ability. And I think if we can sacrifice talents, defensive prowess and abilities and plug in Shenko's passing ability there, I know the Golden Arrows game is not too much to take from it. It was a smaller side stakes, but if we can have that kind of performance where we're looking to own the midfield on the ball, where I saw even the previous leg in Soweto, the ball can go from Mbogazi to the middle of the park.
True.
Chiefs leave that gap.
True.
So I want that outlet to be there. And Shenko's really good at coming deep and get the play started. So I think wouldn't be risking too much. Tito can make up for the shortage Nyana in defense. As long as he's up for it on the day, on the night. Afternoon kickoff anyway. On the day, so
that's probably a night kickoff, evening kickoff. It's a final in Durban. Yeah, we'll see you. Okay, no, it's fine. No, you can understand the lineup how Mr. Coach.
Up front.
Cool. Okay, can I make a comment about the midfield?
Of course.
Think the midfield, how would you change the midfield in order to get more of a tune out of the players if now we have to win the game late?
I would actually have someone like Musele on the bench. I would have said Mbata, but Mbata, the thing that we normally need in a game, which is midfield control, it doesn't help us provide. Passing is questionable, so he won't get the game started. If anything, I'm looking at Slepet. Come on again. Maybe even for a Shenko, depending on the situation and how the game. But I might keep Makaula on and bring on a Shenko. And my reason, like I said, I want to keep the ball, get things ticking, and Mbata's a bit way too sloppy in possession. So I think bring on Musele, a good pass of the ball, I keep saying, and can also give us that defensive ability as well, would be a great change. Even in Ndlondlo, if I'm a goal or two up, I can trust him to come on in that situation. But if I must make a change and all things being equal, Ngafaka Musele in that midfield.
All things being equal. No, I was just saying, not all things being equal, chasing the game, because when you have Tito and Lamini there, I don't know how Mbata
I might not even
help.
make a midfield change if I'm chasing.
Sharp. Come on, Namfetu is the usual, the regular, tegular.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to finish up one comment on my front three.
Okay.
I went with Mabasa instead.
Yeah.
Chiefs, their defense is swag. Mabasa should be feasting. I think he can get in between the two centre backs. I don't know if they're going to go with Dove Liquid Nigga again. If Nabius Lam, I don't think he would. But if he was to do that, I think it's a very clear. I mean, Mahopa gets the goal by getting in between the two centre backs. And I think Mabasa does that breakfast, lunch, and stuff.
You're not lying.
Also, in terms of being in the box for a shot, Mabasa's a better shout. So again, Mahopa has a great performance recently. I would understand why he expects to start, but I think if we just look at the game in isolation, Kaizer Chiefs defense, the quality, Mabasa is more likely to get a goal in that kind of game. I'll start with you.
Well, history would tend to disagree with you, but I agree with you. I would also do the same. With me, I kept Mahopa. Everything else is basically the same except the champagne
duo.
The champagne pivot. Yeah, but the duo is not complete. I went with just Tito in that attacking role. I feel like Lamini is a player, especially in a game that might even go to penalties. He's somebody I would we would love to see Ndlondlo or any other player on the midfield, on the bench playing in midfield is good enough to deputize there, but I don't think so. And I think Mbata is good enough for at least a nice, decent 60, 70 minutes. And then at the back, as you were then, Ogi, no space for him. When we park the bus, and then when it comes to changes, like I said, I would put on Mahopa. I don't know if, Mabasa. I don't know if you have Mabasa already, if Mahopa has that much of an impact coming from the bench. So, cup game, even Jose himself likes to keep something in the back pocket for the rainy day.
That is a factor.
Yeah. So,
my lineup requires us to win the game at starting 11.
Yes. So I think that's a good contrast between mine and yours, because it's not like we are saying who's better and that one is better and whatever. We are just looking at it differently. I'm looking at 120 possible minutes.
That honestly also I'll be disappointed, bro. 120 minutes against Kaizer Chiefs. Dog, I was a little bit down after Skuku, and I was like, I'm going to get home Chiefs and not expect that we're going to walk in there and win the game. Mara, after that derby.
Yeah.
Honestly, Mfethu Jose beat that.
You'll be looking at him, his back.
You ruined your own legacy with this game.
Oh wait, Amapagania, let's see your predicted 11s. Maybe you guys have something that you have thought of that we have neglected, especially when it comes to the opposition. We don't really rate Chiefs.
I'm thinking about starting Slepe, bro. Sorry to cut you off, ne?
It's called hype. It's called recency bias, hype.
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
I'll let it go. He is 18 years old, derby final.
Where are you getting these opinions from, Mr. Coach?
I test.
I fine.
Thing is, ne, what I like about Slip, we've been talking about this number 60 whole season, by the way.
Yeah.
Remember Bata and Bata molding himself into that Busquets type of six.
Yes.
Slip is the profile. Obviously, he's young. Hasn't had the time to prove himself. But just from a strictly profile point of view, he fits it. So maybe I'm getting excited. I want to see him next to Makaula. But I am fit to see a sticker. But yeah, go on get Chiefs. That's why I give us all.
No respect for your neighbors. The Bible says you must love your neighbor. Mr. Coach, I feel like we have gotten into one of the most important parts of the previews. It's certainly my favorite part, because when the match comes, it's like, hey, I'm so hungry, I could eat a whole elephant. What happens when the elephant arrives on the table? on the plate. Will you eat it piece by piece? So it is time for the score predictions. Mr. Coach, you need to put your money where your mouth is. People might be betting the predictions it's a harm fit too.
And if they did in the previous game, we gave a win.
Facts, facts.
Just fact, receipt.
Yeah.
Eish. Ingoma mnandi yaphinda Brayami. I would predict a high margin for us and a clean sheet, but our defense seems to always find a way to concede a goal. So I'm going with a 2-1. Actually, I'll go with a 3-1 this time around. I think it'll be a little bit wider. I think in Kotabaring Liliana, because he was a difference, could have been a hammering of Chiefs. Yeah, so I think a 3-1. Hey, Margi final. Aye, 3-1.
You are saying Orlando Pirates 3 and Kaizer Chiefs 1. That is a very bold one.
I
think there was it my rating or was it the thing that I said during the watch along? But yeah, okay, no, I think 3-1 would be a very good account of what Buccaneers are capable of. It's a cup game. Like I said, I'm thinking 120 minutes. So that kind of means I'm thinking it's going to come down to one goal. Gikaya Pirates 2-1. I think if you haven't noticed, the more important the game is. I stopped the scores. The more important the game is, the more likely it's going to be a 2-1. Yeah, I mean, what we were trying to do against Pyramids is not the one.
This is the day to do it, though. Dog, I went with a Shenko midfield.
Yeah.
All you have to do is watch any other preview on this channel ever.
So you're saying from the beginning we're gonna hammer them?
No, not necessarily, but we are superior in so many departments that there's no excuse.
Okay.
In my opinion. Yeah, occasion I guess I would have.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. They surprised us the last time. Luckily we've got our dress rehearsal already secured.
Let me ask you a question.
From the game against Golden Arrows, but my prediction 2-1. You can tell me what you think about that later. And yours is 3-1 to Buccaneers. What is your prediction in the comment section down below? It's going to be a humdinger this weekend, 10th of May. See you there, Buffet. To Mr. Coach.
Yeah. If we were playing against Chiba United, final. Because by the way, the only difference I think is goal difference in Chiba and Chiba on the log. If we're playing Chiba United, probably also have the same similar kind of trophy drought. What was your prediction going to be?
2-1.
Yeah, I fade. Then I'll accept your 2-1.
Yep. It's a final. They're gonna fight for it. They're gonna run their socks off. They're gonna do things they've never done in their lives. With the cameras on and people watching.
They've got 35 minutes of all of that.
Okay, too. Thank you very much for joining us for this preview. Tactical board, Mr. Coach. I'm about that tactical board. But anyway, guys, please interact with your thoughts and how you think this game will go. You know how our confidence levels are usually, and sometimes the opposition haters will say, hey, you think this is this? Don't be so confident. How can you be so sure? We are sure. And the score predictions speak for themselves. Mr. Coach, it's going to be a big one. Please catch us on the watch along. I think also a Buccaneers brief and a Bucks chat live are coming to your screens and your timelines very soon. Happy People TV, Orlando Pirates fan channel preview for the Nedbank Cup final. Danko.